live from the Alamo. Welcome back to the Fantasy channel. This league is for 12 people and no others, but if you choose to watch it, it's probably going to suck, but it's what it is. So here at the Fantasy channel, I don't know if you know, my name is Lloyd Phillips. I'm not going to give the names of the other people, but I'm one of the greatest fantasy players in the history of fantasy. It's all across the world. You can look it up in magazines, probably if you look at the internet, even overseas, probably says it too. But this week, which was week 3, big matchup between Murray Magic, not me. It's a guy who he had Kyler Murray and he had one good game, so he changed his team name last week. Versus Tatanka Blanco, that's me. I'll tell you how this went. The projection on this score, I chose. I took myself on this one in the in the prediction column, and Tatanka Blanco. I said I was going to win by 3, right? I gave him that. I'm giving you that, Murray Magic, because I felt bad for you. I'm like, probably just 3. I don't want to rub it in. He's a kid, you know what I mean? And it got a little lopsided. To be honest, it was 145.66 to 102.88. I guess I don't have to add the points. It was real bad is what we're saying. I beat you by a lot, and I kind of feel bad for you. I didn't want to give you low self-esteem because I know it's coming into middle school dance season, and I want you to really be in the positive mindset, feeling good about yourself, a lot of positivity. But it's hard to do when you get beat like that, so I really feel bad for you. I'll just go over it. The team that you changed your name to, Kyler Murray, he did score 14 points this week, so he went really big. And that was good. And to be honest, you had Derrick Henry who went off and scored 30, and Zach Moss who actually scored 20. And it's the first time he's ran the ball in his life because he's not very good, I don't think. But then on the flip side, Dak Prescott, highest paid quarterback, who I know he's my fantasy quarterback, but he's not always there. He did score 29 points, but the real pickup of the week, the real genius is Deebo Samuel's out. He's a big part of the offense. Brandon Ayuk really didn't, he hadn't touched the ball too much this year. I don't feel like. I don't know his catch total. I just know it's not great, or it'd probably be seared in my mind that they're throwing him the ball. I picked up Juwan Jennings. That one got me 46.5, and that's pretty much where it went, because even if Jennings was a bust, you could argue if you're going to win, but probably not, just because my team really plays hard for me and the defense probably would have came through. But I did pick up Green Bay's defense, which also helped. They projected 6.5, but I picked them up. It's 23 points. Really, you didn't stand a chance from the start, and that's okay. We don't want to make fun of people. So I projected, like I said, by 3. Let's move on though, because to be honest, it became a snoozer real fast. You had no shot. This particular game here, I'm going to go with, okay. So I have, you guys ready for this? It's going to be big. And this game is Jaden Savas versus Pack Full of Love. If you watch the first 2 weeks, well, if you're in the league, like I said, this is just for our league, but I was pretty low on Pack Full of Love. I didn't think he had it. I projected that he was going to lose big, and then he won big last week. Well, guess what? I projected him to win by 15 this week, and he didn't do that. He did not win by 15. He only won by 53. So, Jaden Savas, listen, you're struggling deal. Who did you have? You had Patrick Mahomes, and he was projected 20. He had 16, not your fault. But you had Saquon Barkley projected 17, who scored 33. And Devonta Adams finally caught some balls. Here we go, Brandon Ayuk. Let me look at this just because I just talked about him just a second ago. And I don't know his stats this year, but he is only, this season, he has 11 receptions on 20 targets. He has 20 targets for 3 weeks. I guess it's not terrible, but he only has 119 yards. So once again, not terrible, but not like big time, right? So anyway, sorry about your luck there. Demarcus Robinson, I also picked him up thinking that was going to be a good play. He didn't really catch the ball at all. Now let's just go over to Pack Full of Love, because to be honest, he annihilated you. Jaden Savas, you're going to have to do better. You're going to have to start running around the track or something. You're going to have to get your heart health up because you're not good at this. So at least you can be good at heart health. And Aaron Rodgers did pretty good. James Cook did okay. Where was your world beater? Neighbors, apparently he doesn't suck. Dallas Goedert probably scored 17 more points than he was supposed to. But pack full of love. I mean, it got lopsided. And good for you because you lost McCaffrey. But I don't know if I can bag on you anymore. This isn't the prediction show. This is just a recap. But pack full of love apparently is a force because he's just blowing people out. So next we'll go to the Porta Potty versus Tatanka Blinders. Now, this one, as you know, or you may remember, when I lost the first week to Laporta, and we knew that probably shouldn't have happened, the record that followed after the fact showed that I probably shouldn't have lost because Laporta Potty, you dropped another one. This one was 112 to 119. Tatanka Blinders took this. See, when I started talking positive about Tatanka this week, I think that boosted your confidence, and that's probably you're like, oh man, I got to play harder because he said I'm real good at stuff. Right, so that's why I was just trying to build your confidence, and I feel like I did that. So good for me for being a positive guy. Jonathan Taylor had his first good game in 2 years, I think, which didn't help. Kyron Williams had a great game, which didn't help you. Rashee Rice had 29 points, good game. Those are your main players. The Laporta Party, but the rest of your team, they were in the potty. They played like potty. The rest of your team, and then they didn't smell like flowers. So Tatanka Blinders, oh, this is big. You had a huge week. Zach Charbonnet, if that's how you even say it, because nobody knows how to say his name, because nobody knows who he is. He had 9 more points than he was supposed to. 11 more points for Aaron Jones. Big week for him. I mean, you had a roster full of overachievers minus Tyreek Hill, but it was enough to pull it out. So once again, you won 119 to 112. Let me scroll back real fast and see what I had on that. I had you winning, Tyreek by 73 this week. So I it was a little off, but I was pretty right that you were going to manhandle them, and you did. Also this week we had the Big Decker versus T-Law's Little Pits or White. Let me just look real fast because this one appeared to get really, really lopsided. Let me just make a little look here real fast if my computer works. Yeah, so I had Big Decker winning by 13. This one was a little bit more than 13. Just real quick math, 32 points. I think that's how bad you got beat, T-Law's Little Pits. And honestly, I went against you because you're a Jaguars fan. I actually did the Bills almost beat the Jaguars as bad as Big Decker almost beat you, right? So there was that, and I'm not going against it. As you know, they were in the running for my favorite team when there was a little mix-up there where I was really questioning myself over the summer for the Bills news. And so what we have here, let's go over it really fast. Burrow, he scored more than he was supposed to, but honestly, I'm not a Joe Burrow believer. I know that you won Big Decker with this guy, but he sucks. He's not good, and he's going to hose you most of the season. He's terrible. They're 0-3, which is not how I thought they'd start. I didn't think they were going to be world beaters, but I didn't think they were going to be 0-3. That definitely was not a thing that I thought. Breece Hall was a little under what he was supposed to. Chris Olave was more than he was supposed to be. DK Metcalf scored 6 more than he was supposed to. Steelers defense scored more than they were supposed to. Across your roster, there were some pretty good numbers, but I'm going to be honest with you, T-Law's Little Pits. I'm not going to tell you how to run your offense, but I believe with all my heart Anthony Richardson is done. He shouldn't even be a factor. I don't know why he's on your team. I know preseason and all that hype, he can run and he can throw, and I realize it's only 3 weeks in, but I don't think you're sitting here week 6 and he's going to do the same thing for the next 3 weeks. That's my belief. Rashad White didn't man up. David Montgomery went a little bigger than he was supposed to by 9 points. Jamar Chase went nuts, beat his total by 10 or 11. And then the rest of it, you kind of were less than. So, yeah, you got beat. You only scored 95 points. Kind of a tough place to be in. Big Decker called that one too, 2-1. Porta Pot, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, you too. But T-Law's Little Pits, you're going to have to probably subscribe to my fantasy channel and buy the special and buy the special package. So this next game is Pain in the Bass, but more like Pain in the Hand versus Diddy's Disciples. And this particular one, let me look. The score was 139. I'm not going to do the points. I'll just round it. 140 to 94 is what it was. So, I mean, you lost like 46 points, Diddy's Disciples. Let me look in my crystal ball. Did I call that? I did. Pain in the Bass by 10. And, it was a lopsided game, honestly. But let's look at it. Actually, let's go with Diddy's Disciples first, because I got Josh Allen. I'm real good. He's so good. He scored 30 and he's projected 21. But then Etienne's less than, Smith less than, Jefferson 2 more points than he was supposed to. Mike Evans, terrible game compared to projections. Terry McLaurin, 9 more than he was supposed to. Put you at 94. Then we got Brock Purdy over here. Now, back to whoever picked up Juwan Jennings, this guy. We really need Purdy to be healthy. I don't know what he's going to do, but once again, this is the recap, not the next week. But Purdy scored more than he was supposed to by 6. Alvin Kamara less than. St. Brown 2 more than he was supposed to. Godwin 2 more than he was supposed to. Jake Ferguson 5 more than he was supposed to. Did I drop him? Did I drop him? It seemed like I dropped him. Could have been the other league. Anyway, it was a very lopsided game. It was 140 to 94. Whew, that's bad. Diddy's Disciples. Ooh, bad. It's bad. I don't know what you're doing on the side. You should probably read less books. And as I had stated in previous videos, to be honest, both, if we're just being honest, both of you guys, I don't believe either one of you have read the books that you said that you had. I know your parents have to sign off on it, and they're probably like, oh, let's just say that they read a lot of books, because I don't think anybody reads 1,273 books in a semester. I don't think that's a thing people do. And you'd be like, it's not 1,273. I know, but I forget what it is. 500,000 words, 700,000 words, 800,000 words. That seems like a lot of words. I don't buy it, but I do clap for you guys when I hear these things that I know are made up. My Diggs Hurts versus CD's Nuts. This particular one. Let me see where I was at here on this one. I believe. Okay. So I picked. I was a loser on this one. I picked CD's Nuts by 20. LD pulled it out here. My Diggs Hurts, but here's what it was for you. Hurts is terrible, guys. I'm just being honest. Hurts and Joe Burrow could have a competition about who's worse this year. I know they've been good in the past, but they're not good. Pollard, because he had one good game. Wait, he scored a touchdown? I don't remember. He scored a touchdown last week, and then they over-projected him. He was 10 less than he was supposed to be. Akers less than he was supposed to be. Stephon Diggs more than he was supposed to be. Your big one, and I picked him up in other leagues, was Deontay Johnson. It turns out, apparently, Andy Dalton is the truth. Apparently, Andy Dalton's a Hall of Famer. You talk about Hall of Fame, Andy Dalton? Apparently, that's what we're talking about now. You edged it out, 97. I said I was going to round up. 98 to 89. So Lamar Jackson did better than he was supposed to. James Conner, terrible. Miles Sanders, more. CeeDee Lamb, way less. He needs to quit worrying about getting the ball and just try to get open and stop throwing fits about, I don't like that stuff. Quit whining. Run some routes, get open. You're terrible, terrible game. By the way, CeeDee Lamb with his 8.7 points. I don't want to dig into it because the screen takes too long to get to it. But I don't know how many times he was targeted. But out of 379 yards and 3 touchdowns by the quarterback that nobody knows at Dallas, I guess it's my guy, Dak Prescott. I don't know, but he has 8 points, so maybe he had 80 yards. Maybe I don't think he scored a touchdown for all I know. Travis Kelce, terrible. Ever since he started dating this girl, he's going to have to get rid of her. It's got to end because I think maybe it consumes his time because he's terrible ever since. His haircut's terrible, his mustache is terrible, and I know that you love him, the porta potty, but he can hide in the porta potty with you guys. Anyway, I mean that's finishing it up there. That's basically the recap. I don't know where I stood. I didn't add it up, but it seemed like I was pretty hot this week, to be honest. And so, really, that's it. We'll see you tomorrow. Stay tuned for the week 4 predictions tomorrow.